Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Cackling Pumpkins. Before I begin this video, let me just go ahead and say my roommates are here. They're watching a movie, arguably kind of loudly, so if you hear that, I'm sorry. They're also doing laundry right now. They're doing all sorts of loud things when I was about to record. It's great. Once again, I also live by a freeway, which I'm sorry if you can hear that. I'm going to try my best to be as loud and clear as possible so that you can hear me and don't get too distracted by the other noises. Hopefully the music that you're hearing is also assisting in that. Now, for those who don't know, I love Kingdom Hearts. It's one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. I will go ahead and say that I kind of criticize it a bit more, simply because I recognize how much of a silly concept it is. I mean, we got Donald Duck talking to Cloud Strife. It is just a goofy concept in general. Outright hilarious, I would say. But I still like it just because it's a strange, weird idea. And I want it to be more strange and more weird. But one thing that's always caught my mind is that a lot of people want Halloweentown to come back. It hasn't been in a Kingdom Hearts game, from my knowledge, since 358 over 2 days. And I understand. I would love to see what Halloweentown would look like in the Kingdom Hearts 3 engine, or something similar to that. But at the same time, it's not like that's the only spooky, stylistic world that they could implement. There are tons of other properties that have similar spooky elements, whether that be animated movies, shows, and shorts, and even other properties. And yes, I know, that's probably going to piss some people off, because there's this group of Kingdom Hearts fans that I call Kingdom Hearts purists. They want Kingdom Hearts to only be Disney animated films and nothing else. Not even live action. Some of them don't even want Pixar. No TV shows, no games. Here's the thing, I view Disney as the evil corporate company. But even I say there's more to their legacy besides just animated shows, and I feel as if we should show that in Kingdom Hearts. Despite the fact that Kingdom Hearts is such a weird concept, and people were willing to give this weird concept a chance, some people just want it to go down this one path. I say experiment, be as weird as fuck. Look, it's already weird, arguably cringy. Look, whatever, who cares? But with that being said, here are 10 spooky worlds that could be added to Kingdom Hearts. Oh look, the world logo's coming up. What a quinky-dink.
You've had your fun. It's time to go. Come on, Allison.
Max, she's right. Let's go.
Oh, come on. It's just a bunch of Hocus Pocus.
The first one is one that kind of surprised me. Hocus Pocus. That is a movie that a lot of people, even the mainstream, seem to enjoy. And it's weird for me to see the mainstream enjoy something as equally spooky as Hocus Pocus or Nightmare Before Christmas. But rewatching it on Disney Plus, I'm using my sister's subscription. I'm not giving the corporate mouse any of my fucking money. Rewatching it made me realize, yeah, I realize why a lot of people like this movie, especially with the three witches and how they kind of work off each other. They're just such fun characters. They're goofy as fuck and I love them. Also, there's a real consequence of death, a real possibility, real stakes are online. So I feel like it's not like any other Disney movie out there. Also, I will go ahead and say this, it feels like an animated movie in a live action form. For example, when the three witches are being reincarnated, they could have just had a smoke machine come in and they walk out of the smoke, but they decided to have the floorboards come up with a green light under it. That must have been a lot more work than just getting a smoke machine, and to me, that feels more like something an animated movie would do. Now, I know a lot of people are like, I don't want live action worlds in Kingdom Hearts. Once again, straight path, I don't want that. And also, no one said the Kingdom Hearts 2 iteration of Atlantica is bad because it's based on an animated movie. There's no such thing as a bad idea, only bad execution, hence why Port Royale and Space Paranoids of Kingdom Hearts 2 wasn't that great. Not because they're based on live action films, but because their overall structure. The Caribbean in Kingdom Hearts 3 was fantastic though. What does that say? For how they explain Donald and Goofy and the overall style, because they are anthropomorphic animals in this world full of humans, and that shouldn't be possible. They rarely ever acknowledge that, by the way. They don't even acknowledge that in San Francisco, where there's only humans. They could say they're just kids in costumes. They wouldn't really need that much of a design change, honestly. Yeah, it's not the best excuse, but it's better than literally nothing. Next, The Black Cauldron. The Black Cauldron is an animated movie that just makes me think, why weren't you added sooner? Just like The Jungle Book, just like Treasure Planet, just like The Emperor's New Groove. They're movies that just make me think, where the hell have you been? Like, why aren't you here yet? It's been almost 20 years and you're still not in? I know The Jungle Book was almost added to Birth by Sleep. You don't need to tell me that. I already know that. Hush. I love its style. I love the real consequence and threat it has. I love these skeletons that come out of the ground. And I will say the main characters are kind of bland in comparison. They could be a lot better, but I do love the style of the movie, and honestly, I feel like the main villain rivals that of Maleficent, but more intimidating. I feel like he could take Maleficent's place in the Kingdom Hearts series, and not many people would complain. Not that I feel like they would, they kind of don't really use the Disney elements like they do in Kingdom Hearts 1 anymore, which is kind of disappointing. But overall, I'd still like to see the movie. Look, if you guys really miss Tim Burton in Kingdom Hearts, I got another film for it. Nightmare Before Christmas is not the only stop-motion animated movie made by Disney and Tim Burton. There's Frankenweeny. Frankenweeny is a movie about Victor who loses his best friend Sparky. He brings him back Frankenstein style. His friends see this, and of course havoc breaks loose because animals start being reincarnated into monsters. I feel as if that would be a good basis for the world. Sora could come in when all the monsters are running amok, while still having a cutscene at the very beginning explaining how Frankenweeny came to be, how Sparky was brought back to life, as sometimes they would do that, especially I've noticed for Kingdom Hearts 2. Sometimes they would have a pre-cut scene explaining like the plot of the movie or how certain things came to be before the world actually starts. And it feels as if that would be perfect, and it would probably be one of the most stylistic worlds, rivaling Halloweentown, because it'd be a realistic city made by Tim Burton, completely black and white. It's like Halloweentown mixed with Timeless River. That alone should sell you. This one's gonna piss some people off. Disney Channel's Halloweentown. Yeah, I know, the obvious thing is like, oh, we already have a Halloweentown. That's a dumb reason to exclude an entire world from Kingdom Hearts. Oh, the world name is the same as this other world. Look, as long as they're not both in the same game, I don't think it really matters all that much. It's like the people who say that, oh, this character can't be in Smash because they're already in this platform fighter, blah, blah, blah. We can't have Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden in Smash because Ryu was already in. I'm smart. Now, the only other issue I can see is that it's a Disney Channel movie. I don't know how they feel about adding Disney Channel movies into Kingdom Hearts. Look, as long as we don't get to the point as we add, like, High School Musical or Hannah Montana, we're good. Alright? The Halloweentown, it's basically the story of these kids who find out that their grandmother lives in another world called Halloweentown. It's literally a town full of Halloween creatures that just live together. I feel as if that alone could probably have a lot of stuff to work on. Also, I want to see Benny the taxi driver realized in Kingdom Hearts. I like him. He's fun.
Well, let's just say that there are characters around here that ain't the most savory.
Now, the fact I talked about a live-action Disney Channel movie didn't piss you off, then the fact I'm talking about a cartoon is Gravity Falls. There was only 2 seasons of Gravity Falls, but Alex Hirsch got to tell his story. 2 kids, Dipper... Why is this chair making all these fucking noises? 2 kids, Dipper and Mabel, have to spend their summer in Gravity Falls, a small town which it doesn't seem like there's a lot happening, but it turns out, great googly moogly there is. I feel as if for a story, we could either make an original one, or, in my personal opinion, I want the Weird Mageddon, the finale of Gravity Falls, to be implemented as the world. Sora can see Gravity Falls for what it normally is at first, and then see Bill Cipher just change everything. Also, I want to have a gameplay sequence where you play as, like, the Mystery Shack mech, and you fight Bill Cipher. That sounds fun, alright? I like that idea. Also, it's so stylistic, it would stick out from a lot of other Kingdom Hearts worlds, especially with how they made the Weird Mageddon. I know a lot of people are kind of annoyed with the bean mouth style, but I feel as if that wouldn't be the only benefit that we had. The benefit would be all the weird visuals that we get from Weird Mageddon. It doesn't look like just ordinary bean mouth at that point. Did you know that the idea of having a cartoon added in Kingdom Hearts went as early as Kingdom Hearts 1, but not by the developers, by showrunners? The people who made Gargoyles heard about the development of the first Kingdom Hearts, and they actually wanted the Gargoyles show to be implemented into Kingdom Hearts. They didn't go that far because the higher-ups basically said, hey, stop, leave them alone. Beyonder with you. And honestly, I'm not that familiar with Gargoyles. I like the idea that it's about Gargoyles. I like Gargoyles as creatures. I can't really comment on the world all that much, but I will go ahead and say I do like the idea of implementing this. It's a realistic city, sure, but it's San Francisco, and also Gargoyles, the guys are kind of big themselves, but honestly, I like them. I feel as if that'd be a fun idea. I wish I could talk about it more, but I'm not familiar with Gargoyles. I should probably watch the show on Disney+. Mooching off my sister. Hey, I pay for Netflix and HBO Max, but I ain't supporting the corporate mouse. Now, if you really want Halloweentown or Nightmare Before Christmas Halloweentown to come back, there is... Who the fuck is driving like a goddamn idiot out there? I swear to God, every time I record, someone wants to be a badass, I'm gonna go 80 miles an hour. There is one way. They made a sequel, not in the form of a movie, but a game. Nightmare Before Christmas 2. Nightmare Before Christmas Oogie's Revenge is a game that acts as an unofficial sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas. Jack returns to Halloweentown only to see that Oogie Boogie has taken over. And not only has he taken over Halloweentown, Oogie Boogie wants to become the Holiday King, and it's up to Jack to retake his title as the Pumpkin King and stop Oogie. We have a great way to bring the world back, and Oogie Boogie too. That would be fantastic. I would absolutely love it, because Oogie is my favorite part of Nightmare Before Christmas. Look, honestly, just more of him. I love him. He's fantastic. He's mwah as a character.
Oh, Jack, I'm just getting started.
I wonder how people feel about Disney shorts becoming worlds, because we've seen elements of shorts be added to stuff like Timeless River, and maybe like a few references. Julius from Runaway Brain was added as a boss in Dream Drop Distance. But how do people feel about Lonesome Ghosts? Like, maybe not as a world, but perhaps maybe the ghosts themselves could be like either a secret boss or a summon or a link or something like that. For those who don't know, Lonesome Ghost is a short where 4 ghosts essentially dick with a bunch of these ghost hunters who are Mickey, Donald, and Goofy in this short. The ghosts themselves are fun characters, the comedy I think is fun, and honestly it's one of my favorite Mickey Mouse shorts out there. Even though, like I said, I'm not a fan of the corporate mouse, but I do like that short. It's a nice short.
For a moment, I thought it wasn't.
Fuck You, The Haunted Mansion starring Eddie Murphy. He's a realtor who needs to sell this mansion but finds out it's haunted and now he needs to save his wife. I know, like, this movie is very mixed. It's like the live-action Grinch kind of mixed. Some of the comedy hits, some of the comedy doesn't, and getting footage for this video made me realize that, yeah, it's kind of understandable why people view this as such. A lot of the humor is basically just, I'm screaming weird things, oh heavens no, oh god, I'm Eddie Murphy. Also, I'm not sure if actor likenesses is going to be like a problem, because I don't know if that's ever been a problem, and that's not just a character, that's not like makeup or a costume, that's just straight up Eddie Murphy in a suit, alright? I don't know if that's going to be a problem. Also, the movie's not really as relevant. I feel like its only time being added to Kingdom Hearts will probably be 2 or Birth by Sleep. But who knows, maybe they could change their mind. I wouldn't mind running through a big gothic mansion, that'd be fun. Lastly, I probably piss a lot of people off talking about live-action movies, cartoons, shorts, but what if perhaps we added a world based on an attraction? Now, I don't know if that's been done before, and I don't know if they've even considered it. Yes, there are movies based on attractions like the already mentioned Haunted Mansion, and also Tomorrowland. It's a very recent one. But what about the Tower of Terror? Now, to clarify a few things, yes, the Tower of Terror was originally based on Twilight Zone, which is not a Disney property. It was based on a CBS property. Hence why it was eventually changed into a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of attraction. Every time they wanted to use a Twilight Zone aspect, they had to pay CBS, and they figured, hey, we already own Marvel, so fuck it. But did you know that in Disney World Japan, the Tower of Terror has a completely original story and is not connected to the Twilight Zone at all? What if we use that story to make an original story and introduce it to the Westerners, or the stupid Americans like me, as a world for Kingdom Hearts? Huh? You're already hitting the dislike button. Please don't do that. I know a lot of you Kingdom Hearts purists out there. Please, be open-minded for once in your life. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think I'm going to run into the time limit soon. Yeah, probably, considering it's 19 minutes on here. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video and all the distractions that came from it, I sincerely apologize about that. Make sure to leave a comment, like, whatever, hit the dang bell. I can't tell you to subscribe, but hit the bell. I don't fucking know. And remember, your connection will be strange.